Hi, I'm Raya, and this is Wondering About Wolves. Today, we're looking at the Wolves versus Burnley match preview.
Yes, the big Premier League game that's coming up at Molineux.
Yeah.
So, what's first on the agenda today?
It's the information about the game.
Okay, tell us what you've been finding out then.
So, Wolves are 12th in the table, Burnley are 17th.
Yes, Burnley have struggled this season. They're just outside the relegation zone, just above Fulham. But I think they have got...
It's a dangerous area.
It is a dangerous area to be in. I think they've got a 6-point cushion, if I remember correctly. So they're not in immediate danger where if we beat them and then Fulham win, they're going to drop in.
Yeah.
But they certainly won't be comfortable, and they'll certainly be coming to Molineux knowing the importance of the game, knowing they need to get another win or two on the board to really secure the Premier League survival. So Burnley, make no mistake about it, Burnley will be up for this.
This game will be broadcast live on the BBC.
Yeah, now normally we've been on telly obviously all season because of lockdown, so all the Premier League matches have been on. But what's different this time is we're normally on Sky Sports or BT Sports, but this time we're on the BBC, broadcast television, free to air television. So that means everyone across the country could be watching Wolves. They don't have to pay for Sky, they don't have to pay for BT. They're going to get this as part of the licence fee. So it could be a massive audience for Wolves to perform in front of. Let's hope we can impress the country and maybe attract a few more fans, by a really good performance and by beating Burnley.
Ruben Neves is back in contention for this game.
Yes.
So he was out because he tested positive with COVID.
Yeah, it was
COVID.
COVID.
But now he's available again.
Available for selection. To be interesting whether he comes back in, because obviously we won without him. We won the last game. But he's back, he's available. And he'll certainly be part of the squad. He'll certainly be involved. When we get to the team selection, you can tell us then what you think will happen. But it'll be an interesting one for Nuno, what he's going to do.
Next on the agenda is what we need to worry about.
Okay, tell us what we need to worry about in this game.
Burnley are a very strong and physical team. So we need to match up to that, and we need to be strong and physical and not let them bully us.
Yeah, that's right. They've got some big lads. And they're playing old-fashioned brand of football. They ain't as technical as Wolves, but it's in your face. Yeah. And you've got to match them, you've got to get down and dirty, and you've got to do the dirty things in the game. And you won't succeed, you've got to do the nasty part of the game as well. And then when we get the ball, we can play. But you've got to match them for work rate, and you've got to match them for endeavour, and you've got to match them for physicality. And aerial battles is a big one, because they've got some good players in the air, some tall players. So we've got to make sure we match them in those departments. And then when we get the ball, we can use it and play our football.
Wolves have looked solid in the last two games, but struggled to create chances.
Yeah, now, we've touched on this before with the different systems.
With five at the back, we're really solid defensively. We get clean sheets more often, but we're not as creative up front, and we're not creating as much chances. But then when we're four at the back, we're always losing games, and we're terrible at the back.
Yeah.
But then
we do
good
create.
forwards.
We do create chances and score some goals.
We need to find a way to balance it a bit more, don't we?
So the last two games, like you say, quite rightly, we've played with a 5 and we've kept clean sheets and we've looked solid. We ain't looked like any time somebody attacks, we're going to give a goal away like we have been doing with 4 at the back. But we have struggled to create chances. We just don't look as fluent going forward. But I expect, because we won those games...
Yeah, we won 1-0
both.
of them.
I expect Nuno will probably stay with the same sort of formation because we've been winning. And although people like the 4 at the back because it is a more entertaining watch, personally, I think with the players we've got available to us at this moment in time, stick with the 5 and see the season out and get some wins on the board. See if we can get in the top 10. We can look at it again, in pre-season.
Yeah, when we have more time and Nuno has the players to work with,
He needs that.
Think about it,
He needs the time. He needs the time on the training pitch in pre-season to work with them on the 4 at the back system and bringing new players in.
Yes.
If we buy some new players who fit that system better, we can always revisit it at a later date.
Yes. Earlier in the season, Burnley defeated Wolves 2-1. So we don't want that to happen.
No. Well, what that tells us is, okay, Burnley have had a poor season where they've struggled, but they still beat us.
They did,
And that'll be in their minds. They'll know, hey, when we played these earlier, we rolled these over, and we were great that day. We struggled against Burnley, and they beat us 2-1, and there was aspects of the game where, like the physicality, where I don't think we matched them well enough. And
So
Burnley,
we need to learn from our mistakes.
we do need to learn from our mistakes, and Burnley will remember that and remember it well. And they'll be coming to Molineux thinking, if we put in that same type of performance, we can beat these again like we did earlier in the season. You know, so like you say, we need to perform better than we did at Turf Moor.
Yeah. Now, next on the agenda is Dylan's Back to the Day.
The father of Burnley goalkeeper Nick Pope is the head of the Roman Catholic Church.
Thanks, that Dylan. Next on the agenda is the teams. The teams.
The teams, yeah. So, you've written down the team that you would select, and you've written down the team you think Nuno will play. So tell us what team you would play first.
So the formation I'd play is a 5-2-1-2.
Okay.
I'd have Patricio in goal.
Yep.
Bolly Cody Say centre defence. Semedo right wing back and Aït-Nouri left wing back.
So that's the same as last time. The same back five who played against Sheffield United, yeah.
Then in midfield I'd have Moutinho and Neves.
Oh, so there's a change.
Yes.
You've taken Dendoncker out
And put Neves
and you've
in.
brought Neves in.
Yeah.
Why have you done that then?
I just think Neves has a better passing range, and I would actually like to see him get a wonder goal this season because he has
Yeah, he got one of his specials, has he? You know, one we saw in previous seasons, he scored absolute crackers, yeah. And you're right about the passing range. Neves has got a better passing range than Dendoncker and can pull the strings better in midfield. So I understand what you're doing there, yeah. That makes sense to bring him back in for those reasons, I suppose, yeah.
Then in the number 10 position, I'd have Pedence. Then up front, Traore and Jose.
Yeah, so it's that same sort of shape as we saw last game, with Pedence floating around, Traore playing as a striker, but more like a sort of inside right type striker, up there with Jose. And the only change then from the last game is you bring Neves in for Dendoncker. What do you think Nuno will do?
I think Nuno will do exactly the same again.
The same
again
as you, though, or the same team
as me.
You think Nuno will do the same as you? So you think Nuno will drop Dendoncker?
I do. I think he will put Neves back
and bring Neves back in?
Neves and Moutinho with, the pair.
Yeah, the pair of passers, the technicians in there, the ball players. Okay, that's interesting then. We'll see. It's an interesting dilemma for him, to see what he'll do there. Yeah. But you think he's going to bring Neves back in and drop Dendoncker? All right, we'll see what happens. And what's next on the agenda?
Next is the score prediction.
Okay, score prediction.
Yeah. I'm going for a 1-0. Like the last two games.
Oh!
3 times
that'd be 3 in a row, wouldn't it? 1-0, yeah. Well, the way we've set up with the 5 at the back,
if we play that, I think
the 1-0s, that them on score lines we can come by like with that formation, because we can't keep clean sheets like this, but we don't create a lot.
My goal scorer is Jose, because I think that goal would have boosted his confidence up a bit.
Yeah, it certainly would. Yeah, so that's a good shout for Jose to get on the score sheet again. I'll go for, let's say, 2-0 then I'll go for. I'll go for Traore, because he's been getting goals and assists lately, and he's getting the stats, he's got a goal, a couple of assists. So I'll go for Traore to get a goal, and I'll go for Pedence, because he scored in a while, has he, Pedence? So I'll go for Traore and Pedence, and I'll go for 2-0.
Okay, 2-0, yeah. Okay, so next on the agenda is the sign-off. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below your predictions for the game.
2-1. I'll say 2-1. I'm going to say Burnley will get one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just change that prediction and I'll go with 2-1.
Okay, well, that's worse. So also make sure you join us next time for the Wolves versus Burnley match review.
Now I'm going to go back to 2-0. I'll say clean sheet and we'll get...
Is that your definite score prediction?
No.